fights. He's tough, and they're tough as nails, the ties, and this could go the distance. But Sam Goodman, he's a fit man, and I think he'll get the job done.
And he'll get the home ground advantage as well. Back here at his home in the Wollongong Entertainment Centre, it's going to be an incredible atmosphere for him to soak up, and we know he'll have the rowdy bunch here as well, the Mad Bunch.
Oh, you might join them, Jakey, in the crowd there. But look, this is his hood, and he showed that in March when he beat Mark Schliebs, the Magic Man. He was man or mouth that day, and he learnt the hard way, the Magic Man, that Sam Goodman is the real deal, and he towed him up in 4 rounds that day, and I think he'll win this fight, Sam Goodman, and I think he'll do it emphatically again.
Of course, he is the headline act, but it is a great card as well. Talk us through who we're going to see on July 10.
Absolutely, fantastic card. There'll be 6 major fights on the main card, and Liam Wilson will be returning. Of course, he had that world title loss overseas in America, but he's a quality fighter, world-class opponent against Huey Dibb. And Huey Dibb, of course, Billy Dibb's brother, he's very good. And also Barry Hall, Big Bad Barry, will be on the card against Curtis Scott, so we can't wait to see that.
Yeah, we love a cross-code rivalry. All right, the fighters are ready. We are ready for the press conference. Let's send it up to main events, Ben Damon.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our official launch press conference ahead of this big pay-per-view event that you'll see on Main Event Television on Wednesday, July the 10th. It all comes to you live from the Wynn Entertainment Centre here in Wollongong, a venue that is fast becoming Sam Goodman's house, and he will headline the mandatory world title challenger against the world number 8, Chainoi Worawut, who is 25-0-1, the one being a draw. He's undefeated in 26 starts. He has 15 knockout victories, and he is number 8 in the world from Thailand, the opponent for Sam Goodman, as the main events on this stacked show that you will see live on Main Event Television and here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Also part of this show, we're going to see Liam Wilson coming off his world title challenge against Yusuf Dibb, who has an outstanding professional record himself. We've got a cross-code rivalry as well between Barry Hall and Curtis Scott, and there's a stacked lineup with some of those fighters being present here as well today. I'm Ben Damon. I'll chat to a bunch of the fighters, and also, first of all, to the promoter of this event in George Rose. George, must be good to be back here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre, where we've got such good memories after that performance last time out by Sam Goodman against Mark Schliebs.
Well, mate, I absolutely love what you said. This is fast becoming Sam Goodman's house, and this is what it feels like being back here too. It's great to be coming back to Wollongong after the reception that we've had both times before that we've been here. The performance from Sam last time that we were here was absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to be here again on July 10 for what's going to be a crazy card. I mean, the card that we've assembled for this fight, these guys should not be taking any of these fights. They're very difficult fights for everybody involved, and the fact that they're willing to put it all on the line in this, just like Sam Goodman's putting it all on the line in his fight, is going to make for an outstanding night of fights.
Talk to me about the risk factor that is involved in Sam Goodman's fight against the world number 8 here. It's a risky fight, no doubt, but he's putting it all on the line because he's mandatory, as we said, to one of the best fighters in the world and a big paycheck as well in Noya. In a way, we saw him get in the ring. Clearly, a fight is welcomed there, but he's taking this instead. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, mate, it's a big risk, but I've got nothing but respect for Sam and his team. Nobody knows Sam Goodman better than him and his team, and knows what he's capable of and what he will do in the ring. And you know, we're a nation of punters. Australians love a punt, but not many people would put their career on the line the way that Sam Goodman is. He's taken a punt on his career, and he's putting it all on the line in this fight, but it's to prepare him for what lays around the corner, and what that is the opportunity to fight one of the greatest fighters of this generation, and he's putting that all at risk here in Wollongong on July 10, and man, I absolutely love it. You know, I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous about it, and everyone should be. You know, he's a mandatory. He's the guy that's next in line, and he's putting it all on the line against a guy undefeated in 26 fights. It's not a bum. It's not a tomato can. It's a guy that can fight and has got the track record to prove it. Undefeated in 26 fights. Not many people get to that point in their career, and Sam Goodman's going to step in the ring against a bloke like that July 10 here in Wollongong and put it all on the line.
But George, fundamentally, he probably shouldn't be doing this. Have you tried to talk any sense into the Goodman camp?
Hey, look, I love people who want to take the risk. I love people who want to get in and put on a show for the fans, and that's what Sam Goodman's doing, is that he's bringing another big fight here to Wollongong. You know, we're getting a lot more limited in the big cards that we can put on here in Australia. You know, we've got Tim Tszyu fighting overseas, so now you want to be on a big card, you want to have a big card. It's Sam Goodman who's leading the way for that here in Australia at the moment, and we want to make sure that we get a really good event on here in Wollongong. And, you know, like you said, fundamentally, he probably shouldn't be doing it. He could sit it out and wait, but the best preparation for him, his team knows the best preparation for him. They know that a tough fight is going to prepare him to fight, one of the greatest fighters of our generation. So he's ready to upset in a way in a short period, but first of all, he's got to get through this really tough fight on July 10. And we will all be on the edge of our seats. Everybody should be, because Sam Goodman is risking everything. So, we're all got to be in his corner and all be backing him up and cheer him home, as I'm sure the Mad Bunch will. They always do. They turn it on here in Wollongong, but it's going to make for a fun night.
I'm going to talk to you about a couple of these other fights as well, but firstly, you mentioned the Mad Bunch. Do you have a message for them? Because tickets, are they on sale as yet? You'd want to get in quick?
Yeah, so we've got the pre-sale going live at 12 p.m. today. So anybody who's a member on nolimitboxing.com.au, you'll get first access through our pre-sale. If you're not on there, you can get on and register nolimitboxing.com.au. Otherwise, general public can get access to the tickets at 4 p.m. Today via Ticketmaster. But you're up against a Mad Bunch here. The Mad Bunch will be taking a good chunk of this stadium. So get in early, register through nolimitboxing.com.au and get your tickets early and come down and enjoy a great night of fights.
This is the fight I'm most excited about. Over to your right, we've got Liam Wilson and Yusuf Dib. What an outstanding fight that will be. At lightweight, we all saw Liam Wilson last time out, so close again to becoming a world champion. We've watched the journey of Yusuf Dib in recent years as well. Tell us about that fight and why it means so much to these two fighters.
Well, look, Sam Goodman has set the tone for this card, putting it all on the line, taking big risks. That's what these two guys are doing. Liam Wilson is stepping up in weight. Two-time world title challenger. He's stepping up in weight against a guy with a great record in the lightweight division, a very well-respected Australian fighter in this division, and it's a chance for both of them to make a name for himself. So Liam, he's stepping up in weight to see. We don't know what he's going to be like at this weight. It's a little bit heavier. They punch a little bit harder. We've seen what Yui's done in the past. He's taken big hits. He's bounced back, and he's got great upset performances. So it's going to be a really good fight, and this is a chance for both of them to make a name for himself in the division and move on to bigger and better things. We don't know what Liam's going to have at lightweight. That's the unknown. We've seen that he's a world title challenger at super feather, but this is a heavier weight. This is bigger guys, bigger punches. We'll be finding out what he's like at this weight. And I can't wait, because Liam Wilson's one of my most exciting fighters that I love watching. He puts everything on the line. He puts everything at risk. And Yui's a guy who can punch. He's a guy who can take a punch. He's a guy who can deliver a very hard punch. So anything could happen in this fight. Everything is on the line.
There's going to be a lot made of the cross-code fight between Barry Hall and Curtis Scott. Were you as surprised as I was when, in his post-fight interview after knocking out Joey Leilua, Curtis Scott called out that man, Barry Hall?
Man, if I just knocked out a 130-kilo massive bloke... When Joey Leilua walked to the ring, he looked like The Rock. Dead set, he looked like the most dangerous bloke that you're ever going to step in the ring with. And Curtis Scott knocked him out. If I was in that same position, I'd be calling out any man in the world as well. I'd feel on top of the world. And that was the energy that Curtis had after that fight. He was absolutely pumped. He called out Barry Hall. Look, unfortunately, well, whether it's fortunate or unfortunate for Curtis, Barry was happy to take that on. Barry's the baddest man that's come out of the AFL. There's no player in the AFL in the last 20 years who would beat Barry Hall in a fight. I guarantee that. There is no man badder than Barry Hall that has come out of the AFL. And the fact that he's had a controversial draw to Paul Gallen, the fight with Sonny Bill was one that you could tell that he wasn't himself. He wasn't himself in that, and he wants the opportunity for redemption. Now, Curtis has called him out. He wants the opportunity for redemption, and this works out perfectly for these two to get it on in the ring. When you're a heavyweight, absolutely anything can happen. Like I said, when Curtis last fought here in Wollongong, I watched Joey Leilua walk to the ring like The Rock, and I thought Curtis was gone. But he absolutely dominated him and put on a great performance. We don't know what we're going to get in this fight. Barry Hall, the toughest guy out of the AFL, versus Curtis Scott, a smaller heavyweight who can upset absolutely anyone.
I've spoken to both of those boxers before this morning, and they're both trying to claim underdog status. I won't ask you who you think's going to win, but who do you think deserves to be the favourite between Barry Hall and Curtis Scott?
Look, I think it's a very evenly matched fight. To be honest, I think that the bloke who lands first is the bloke who's going to get the momentum in this fight, and I think it is very evenly matched. Young bull, old bull, a lot of talent, a lot of hype around both of them as crossover fighters, but I think they're both capable of getting the win. So I'm sitting on the fence in this one. I don't know what will happen.
Anything else you want to add before I start to talk to the fighters?
Look, I'm just really excited for the card that we've got. As I said, everybody is risking a lot in the matchups that we've put together here. We've got Billy Polkinghorne on debut, a really exciting signing for us, and a guy who's going to go a long way in this sport. And I know that the fight that we've got lined up for him, the opposition is very confident in what they can bring. So it's going to make for a great fight. We've got the Bull returning to the ring. Heavyweights on show. I love heavyweight fights, so this one will be really good too. Anything can happen in the heavyweight division, and Chanel Daren returning, one of the most entertaining fighters in Australian boxing, and we know that she puts it all on the line every time she steps into the ring. So this will be a really good fight card. Make sure you turn up here. Tickets on sale from 12 o'clock today through the No Limit Boxing website, or Ticketmaster from 4 o'clock the Savo. See you there.
Thank you very much, George Rose. We'll talk to the fighters now, and first up will be Chanel Daren, who is going to fight on this card. We're waiting to figure out the opponent for Chanel, but we know it will be another exciting fight because each and every time she steps in the ring, that is what she provides. Chanel, talk to us about the opportunity of being a part of another stacked show like this.
Yeah, it's an incredible opportunity to represent the women in boxing as well, to be on an amazing card with amazing fighters. It's a great opportunity.
And we're waiting to figure out your opponent for this fight, but looking ahead, is there anyone that you'd like to fight? Is there a call-out you'd like to put out there for an event perhaps later in the year?
I wouldn't say a call-out, but I always say work so hard till your idols become your rivals. And one of my idols is Shannon O'Connell, and I feel like she's the best of the best in Australia at the moment, and I think that could be a fight that Australia and a lot of boxing fans would like to see. Again, she's one of my idols, and it would be an absolute privilege to be able to share the ring with her.
Well, we've got Glenn Jennings in the front row down here who manages Shannon O'Connell. Sorry to put you on the spot. Do you want to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Thumbs up. Okay, we might be able to do that. Chanel Daren and Shannon O'Connell. How exciting. Thank you very much, Chanel. You gave us more than I expected there, and we may have a fight to be made at some stage very, very soon. I'm going to head down to the other end of the front table, and Billy Polkinghorne is this young man's name. He's having his second professional fight on this show. He is going to take on a very confident opponent in Jordan Caselliris. Billy, I wanted to start by asking you about some of the articles and some of the quotes that have come out around you and your potential through the course of the last couple of days. Did you see yesterday you compared not only to Tim Tszyu but also to Kostya Tszyu in terms of your potential?
Yeah, no, that's when I first read that, it made me blush. No, I was very flattered, to be compared to Costa as well as Tim. Them two are Australian boxing legends, not just Australia boxing legends. So. We got a lot of shoes to fill, but that's great. It's I think we just got to strike while the iron's hot now and get it underway.
Can you understand why people are putting you in those sorts of lofty categories? For those who haven't seen you fight before, just tell us what you do and how good you are at it.
Yeah, I can understand. We've had a lot of fights. We've been in the amateur scene for a while now. We fought a lot of good boys. We've even fought with Liam Wilson, and Liam is a top operator. And for me to have good fights with him, surely that means we could be on that level.
And do you know much about Jordan Caselliris aside from the fact that he is very confident of winning this fight?
No, that's good that he's very confident. I want a game opponent. I want someone who's not just going to come here and lay down. I want someone who's going to come in and try and take this all away from me. These are the fights that get me up and ready for July 10th.
Thanks so much, Billy Polkinghorne. Looking forward to seeing him in action on this show, as we are with Brandon Grach, who sits in the middle there down the front. Last time we saw you, Fight of the Year, Round of the Year, Knockout of the Year, you got all the awards. How do you look back on that particular fight with Liam Talibata?
It was great. I was stoked to do it in front of a home crowd in Newcastle, and actually we picked up a bit of a thumb injury during that fight, and so we got that looked at over Christmas, and I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm feeling a wave of excitement now. It's been a while since I got in the ring for real and punched someone, so I can't wait to do it in front of the Mad Bunch here in Wollongong. But I'm ready to bring it back sometime soon in Newcastle for the bullpen. So let's go.
It's a bit to live up to after what you did last time out. Do you understand the expectation that lurks around Brandon Grach whenever you step into the ring now?
Yeah, look, absolutely. You know, I know what I carry in both hands, but it's not just power that I take into the ring. I think, you know, my opponent's going to find that out when he's in there with me. It's, you know, he hasn't just got one thing to think about. So, look, I think you're going to see, you know, a few different dimensions going on in this fight, and some of the skill set that I bring to the table. So, you know, there's a whole lot more of the bull to come. And you know, I'm just excited to turn it on every time for No Limits, so can't wait.
It's a serious fight. He's 6-0, John Mailer. Have you seen much of him, and do you know much about him aside from the fact that he's stopped 5 of those 6 opponents?
No, I haven't seen all that much on him. Look, I'm not too concerned. You know, like I've just said, you know, just before, things are different when you're in the ring. So look, I train to squash all doubt and eliminate that, so that when I walk out into the ring, I know what's going to happen. So look, I'm prepared for anything, any which way it goes. This is why I train. This is why I do what I do. And I've got somewhere I want to be, and I'm not going to stop till I get there.
Fantastic. That is Brandon Grach. Looking forward to him in with an undefeated opponent on this show, and looking forward to seeing Barry Hall and this man Curtis Scott to battle as well. Curtis, why, when you won that fight against Joey Leilua, did you turn straight in terms of your sights to Barry Hall?
The week earlier, I wanted to introduce myself to Barry at the Hoop Centre. I think one of his mates was fighting, and he seemed pretty keen to get back in the ring, and it just light bulb lit up in my head, and I thought, if I get the win against Joey, I think it'll be a great matchup. Call him out, get the big fella off the lounge, and give him a bit of a purpose to get back in the ring.
I see you trying to do him a favour.
Oh, I guess so. He's getting a bit long in the tooth now. He's had a couple of losses, and I think he wants to finish with a win, and I think that's why he's jumped at this fight, expecting to beat me, but it's going to be a different story when we're in there.
I might just get a reaction from Barry Hall straight away. Barry, what did you think when you heard that he'd called you out? What do you think of that call out?
I thought he was calling me out to, you know, get a bit of clout name-wise, and I think he sees vulnerability in me after my last fight, which is great. So that's what I thought initially, because a couple of guys have called me out, and I think they see vulnerability. So I fight for challenges. I don't fight people who I think are vulnerable. So I come from a different direction. So, but that's my opinion. He may have called me out for the right reasons. He might think I am a challenge, but I don't think so.
So you think it's a bit of a cop-out?
I think he sees vulnerability. So, yeah, I don't take those fights. I've always taken undefeated fighters. I've always been the underdog, and I've always been a main event. So I've always put myself in situations where it's a challenge. So, yeah, 2 different directions.
What's your response to that, Curtis?
Vulnerable is a 6'5" unit. I don't see any vulnerabilities looking at him. He's a big boy. He's fought Paul Gallen and Sonny Bill, 2 of the best crossover fighters, in my opinion. So I'm expecting a very tough fight. I'm training and getting ready for a tough fight. I know what he brings. He's a big, aggressive man, and he can box. You know, he's had a decorated amateur career, and then obviously went into the AFL, so I'm definitely not coming into this expecting an easy fight. I'm training for a Paul Gallen, Barry Hall form. I'm expecting that, and I hope he brings it, because I don't want any excuses after I beat him.
Barry, do you know much about Curtis Scott? Was he someone on your radar at any point previously, or what about when the name was thrown towards you? What did you think?
No, so I was first aware of Curtis when he came to introduce himself, and look, I'm not disrespecting anyone. I don't watch TV or sport anymore, even AFL for that matter. I knew he was some rugby league player or something, because, you know, he was fighting Joey. So, and he came to introduce himself, seemed like a nice fella. Wished him luck, and then I was out for dinner with my family, and my phone started blowing up saying I've been called out. So, yeah, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, the stars aligned, really. I've been training a little bit and thinking about my last fight constantly, that, you know, that wasn't me. That's not who Barry Hall is, and I wanted a bit of redemption. So the stars aligned, really, with Curtis calling me out, and another challenge. I've seen some of his fights. He's very aggressive. He's going to be in my face. He's fit. And that's what I'm preparing for. It's another challenge. You know, we can go back and forward about underdog. I'm 20 years older than him. and he's a young bull, but as a young bull, I think I can stop.
What have people been saying to you, Barry, about Curtis or about this fight since it started to leak out?
As I said, I don't know Curtis that well. I'm not sure of the history, and I don't really buy into that stuff, but doesn't seem to be very well liked. Everyone who I've spoken about or spoken to said, they don't seem to like him too much. So, but that's their opinions. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you what people think. But
Response, Curtis?
That's just join the line, just another one that thinks that. But they obviously don't know me personally, so everyone can have their opinion. It might hurt a little bit more when you get beaten by the villain.
You consider yourself the villain in this fight? Is Barry Hall our good guy?
I guess so. He's listening to the critics, so I guess I'm the villain.
What does a victory here mean to you, though, and how invested are you in your boxing career, Curtis?
Yeah, look, I'm getting a little bit of a vibe, a bit of a gambling vibe of all in with Sammy Goodman, so I might just jump on the back of that as well because I'm all in with this. I don't have too many other options. Not very good on the tools, and so boxing's pretty much my only way out, and I put my life and soul into it now, and I train extremely hard, and I love the sport, and I'm really excited to be here.
Any final words, Curtis or Barry, before we move on?
I think it's going to be an exciting fight. As I said, I know where he's going to be. He's going to be in front of me. It's going to be a good pace, and I'm just glad he called me out, and it's given the opportunity to be here. This is something I've needed, and we can promise a good fight, that's for sure.
Okay, great. That is Barry Hall and Curtis Scott. We'll move up now to the top table. The co-main event on this show will be Liam Wilson and Yusuf Dib, who sits down the end of this top table. Yusuf, I'm sure that Liam Wilson, given his standing in Australian boxing, is someone you've thought about fighting at times over the years. When you've thought about it, how have you pictured that fight going?
Yeah, look, it's definitely a fight that my team and myself have earmarked for some time now, and I always sort of knew that Liam was a bit of a bigger body at super featherweight and that he would come up. So I've been ready for an opportunity like this. I feel like in terms of my career, I fought for the longest time in obscurity, and it's only been my last 3 or 4 fights that I've had the backing of No Limit, and they've given me the opportunities to put my skills on display, and this is another great opportunity. My first pay-per-view opportunity as well, so I'm grateful for it, and I'm looking forward to putting on a great performance.
Yeah, how does that feel? You're sitting up at the top table ahead of a pay-per-view on Main Event, a big show presented by No Limit. You can look at a very creditable opponent and some big names who are around. Your brother, a former world champion, in the audience. Just sum up this sort of moment for us.
Yeah, look, I'll be real with you. Walking in and seeing my face up on that big billboard was a real pinch me sort of moment, and it's why I've trained so hard for the last 15 years. These are the fights that get you up. These are the fights that you want to be a part of. You want to put your name out up in the bright lights, and like I said, these are the opportunities now. I know what it takes to be a great fighter. I know what it takes to win world championships because I've watched my brother do it, and I'm looking to follow in the footsteps of my brother, and also the great Australian fighters that are currently here. Liam's achieved a lot in Australian boxing already. He's fought for 2 world titles in his short career. Beating Liam is going to allow me to get to that level, and that's what I need to do.
Clearly, though, this is a fight you see you win. What is it about Liam Wilson, despite being as good as he has been, that you see as a vulnerability? What gives you an opportunity to beat him?
Well, nobody is unbeatable, and Liam has shown vulnerabilities in the past, in terms of making mistakes, fundamental mistakes. He is there to be hit, and that's my plan. Hit him more than he hits me, and come out with the win by whatever means necessary.
And what would a victory in a show like this and a moment like this mean to you?
It's going to mean a lot. I believe that Liam is probably one of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in Australia, so a victory over Liam is going to put me in that stead as well, and that's all the motivation I need. There's nothing more that I want to do than be one of the best fighters that Australia has, and I want to be representing Australia on the world stage, and this is the first step towards it.
Thank you, Yusuf Dib. I'll talk to Liam Wilson now. Liam, great to see you again, and great for the Australian public to see you again for the first time since that big fight that you had in Arizona. You've just heard Yusuf Dib, your opponent, say that there are some vulnerabilities, that you get hit a bit too much. How do you respond to that line of thinking?
Yeah, I've had to go back to the drawing board and fix up a lot of flaws I made in my fights. I'm in a position now that I'm all too familiar with, unfortunately. I'm down the back of the packing order, and I have to rebuild myself back up, show everyone what I'm made of, and get my shot at another world title. So the next stop is July 10th against Yusuf Dib.
That surname Dib means a bit in Australian boxing. Is that an important name to have on your resume?
Yeah, there's a lot of pride in this fight because I know his family has a big name in Australian boxing. Billy Dib, Bilal Dib, and Yusuf himself. So I have a lot of pride with it, and I'm looking to put on a good fight, a good performance, and come away with a nice decisive win.
From what you've seen of Yusuf Dib, is he on your level, do you think, as a boxer?
You can. It's all up until the. Sorry, fuck. It's.
Yeah, we'll find out on July 10. Yeah. Just give us your thoughts on how this fight goes. What does Yusuf try and do, and what are you successful in doing?
Look, I'm excited for this fight because I've come off 2 world title shots, very close fights for me. I felt like as if those fights fell between my fingertips, and now I'm back to square one. I have to prove to everyone that I am capable of winning a world title. And this is a man stepping in front of me, Yusuf Dib. I'm coming up in weight. It's going to be a tough fight, but I'm ready. I'm excited, and let's do it.
Yeah, what a great fight that is. Liam Wilson and Yusuf Dib. You'll see that as your co-main event. In the main event, though, we will see the mandatory world title challenger at Super Bantamweight, who's 18-0. He takes on Chainoi Worawut, who calls himself Rockman from Thailand, who has 26 fights and is undefeated, the number 8 in the world at Super Bantam. Sam, great to see you again. How does it feel for you walking back into this venue where you had such success, where you used to work over the road, you live around the corner, and seeing your name again up in lights?
Look, it brings me great pride to be back here and to bring another big show back to Wollongong. It was so good the first time that we had to do it again. So I'm stoked to be here. Another big show, another big card, and hopefully another big performance from yourself.
Tell us about your opponent in this fight. We know he's number 8 in the world, he's undefeated, and clearly this is a big challenge. Is he the right guy for you to be going in against when you're risking that enormous shot at Naoya Inoue and all the money that comes with it?
Absolutely. I've got to be tested, and I've got to fight world-class guys. And look, I'm a gambler, Ben. I've got to roll the dice. So look, I'm going all in again.
Do you? What are your memories of what happened in Japan? Getting in the ring there with Inoue, and clearly he's someone who wants to fight you. What was that like to know that you're so close to all of those belts and to what that would represent?
Look, it was a crazy experience. We hustled our way ringside. We yelled out at him, and we ended up in the ring. So it was good. I'm on his radar, and he's obviously on mine. So look, I've got a job to do here in July, but make no mistake, after this one, I'll be sitting out and I'll be waiting for my shot.
It is a huge risk, though. You must acknowledge that. Has anyone said to you that this is unwise, that you should be waiting around for that fight instead of risking it all against this guy?
Look, I know what prepares me best for that opportunity, and I've got to stay active, I've got to stay busy, and look, I need another test at that world level before I take on Inoue. So, look, it's the plan my team have come up with. I trust in my team, and I trust in their process and their plans. So, look, it's about putting me in the best possible spot, not just to fight the monster, but to beat him. So that's what we're going to do.
What was it like in this venue, getting your stoppage victory against Mark Schliebs after all that had been said last time out? What was that emotion like, and do you want to experience it again with the Mad Bunch?
Look, we will be experiencing another victory, and it's going to be another sweet one on world level. A world-class opponent, a guy that's highly ranked with the WBC, and everyone knows what's next after this one. So look, this is going to be a big event, a big show, and I'm going to put on a big performance. So I've got a lot in front of me, and I can't slip up here. So look, I'm going to do a job on this guy, get him out of there, and then on to the next one.
And final words for the Mad Bunch and anyone else who's considering getting here to the Win Entertainment Centre or watching, of course, on Main Event. Tickets have gone on sale today as well.
Yeah, get in quick, get your tickets, because you know what this place was like last time. It's only going to be bigger again, and look, it's going to be rocking, it's going to be rowdy. You know what they bring.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Mad Bunch and everyone else will be here on July the 10th for this show that you'll see at the Win Entertainment Centre and, of course, on Main Event Television, which is available via Foxtel and KO. To repeat the details, July 10. Here at this venue, Sam Goodman and Chainoi Worawut, two undefeated fighters who are risking it all in a big fight at Super Bantamweight. I'm Ben Damon. Thanks for your company here at the official press conference today. I'll see you at the fights.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben. Obviously, a big press conference, a big fight card. Pete Bedell, Sammy Goodman. We just heard from him then. It was interesting to hear what George Rose had to say. He's the guy now in Australian boxing, right? With Tim Tszyu fighting overseas, taking himself to the world stage. Sammy Goodman, he's the big ticket item now.
Well, I think he could be another jewel in the crown for Australian boxing. I really do, Jake. I mean, we talk about Tim Tszyu. We all know about his quality, but he is a bit of a hidden secret for me, Sam Goodman, the ghost they call him. But he's such a skilled fighter. He's a beautiful fighter. And if you look at BoxRec, he's our number 2 pound-for-pound fighter. Tim Tszyu's number 1. Sam Goodman's number 2. That's how good he is. He has world-class skill, world-class fitness, and I think he's world title material, but he has to prove that against the monster in a way later this year, but he has to win this fight first.
Yes, of course, the Rock Man from Thailand. He's a Muay Thai fighter, Muay Thai background, a lot of fights under his belt, and a very good boxing record. What do we know about him? He's a hard hitter, like, in a way?
So he's had more than 200 Muay Thai fights, Jake, so he's seasoned. He grew up in a boxing family, a fighting family. 7 years old, he took up the sport of Muay Thai, and then he's moved into boxing. So, look, like a lot of these Thais, beautiful constitution, very tough, very fit. He's had 26 fights, never been beaten. So, someone's is going to go in this fight. But I think the Rockman is going to learn the hard way that when he comes to Australia, this is his first fight domestically in Australia. He's going to learn the hard way that Sam Goodman is the real deal.
All right, Sam Goodman, let's hear from him right now. We'll bring him on in. Jump in between us here, Sammy. Mate, Ben Damon just touched on it up there, but obviously a big risk for you. Not only the world title potential on the line coming up against it, but also $1 million payday with NOA. Like, why take all this risk? Not just your belts and your titles, but your money as well.
Look, I didn't get in this sport to become a millionaire when I was 10 years old. You know, it's all nice and I want to get paid at the end of it. But look, it's about putting me in the position to win these world titles and to put me in the best position to win them. So, look, my team believed another hit out at world level and another tough test, just getting in there and competing again, you know. So it's that's what it's about, getting in there, staying active, getting busy. And then, you know, this will be my last fight before the monster. After this fight, everything I do, even now, everything I do is, you know, pushing me towards those world titles, and it's with that end goal in mind. And this guy's just a guy that's in front of me. I can't slip up. I've got to have full focus on him, but I know what lies ahead. So, look, I'm not taking it lightly. Yeah, this is everything for me.
I thought, Sam, in your last performance against Schleves, it was a guy you didn't take lightly, and he talked a good game, didn't he? But I thought that was probably the most menacing performance I've seen from you. Are we going to see that again against the Rockman? Do you want to be dominant? Do you want to be aggressive and I guess set the tone from the outset?
Yeah, absolutely. I always look to put the pressure on, but it's calculated. It's, you know, I'll be seeing how the fight goes as well. So I'll see what I need to see out of him early, and then once I see what I need to see, I'll be going forward and putting the pressure on. Don't make any mistake about that. But look, he is a credible opponent. He's world ranked. He's handy. He's undefeated for a reason. So look, early on I might have to suss him out a little bit, but you know, I think from watching what I've seen of him that I've got more than enough to handle this bloke.
All right, Sammy Goodman, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you on July 10. Good luck in the bout. We'll bring in Barry Hall now. We're just hearing from Barry. Oh, he's not here just yet. He's coming in. But we've got Liam Wilson. Liam Wilson is standing by. Come in, Liam. Just come in between us. Good to see you, Liam. Obviously, you just spoke up there about you know, coming off a tough world title loss, and you had to kind of go back to the drawing board and reassess your fight game. What do you think you've improved on that he's going to have you ready to go again?
Look, I've had to come back and reassess everything. You know, it's the second time for a world title, and I fell short once again. So the position I'm in, I'm pretty familiar with it. I'm back down the back of the pecking order, and I have to rebuild and prove to the country that I am what I think I am, world title material, and I'm coming for a win.
Well, Liam, I was there with you in America, of course, when you had that loss to Valdez, heartbreaking stuff again, but you've shown you are world class, you are world quality material, but you're coming up to lightweight this time, you're stepping up a division. How will you handle the extra weight and the power?
Mate, it's going to be, as a team, it's going to be an experiment because, you know, as an amateur, I used to fight welterweight. I haven't been the weight I'm fighting at now. I haven't been that weight since I was 15, 16 years old. So going up to lightweight is going to be, we'll see. You know, I could feel nice and strong, fit and healthy, and I may stay there. You know, I know George Kimbosa's at that weight. I'd like to, you know, if all goes well, I'd like to maybe gun for that sort of fight, if it can happen. You know, I don't know what his plans are, but yeah.
Is that a big driving factor for you? Obviously, I think Yusuf as well has called out George Kambosos. Like, that's what you see, a big money fight, but also to get your name on that radar even more.
You know, to be honest, like going through this camp, I'm seeing it as a fighter for George Kambosos. You know, I've said I'd move up to lightweight for George Kambosos, and that's it. But here I am against Yusuf Dib, and funny enough, Yusuf Dib has called out George Kambosos a few times. So I'm doing this camp purely under the fact that we both want to fight George Kambosos, and I'm seeing it as a fight-off for George Kambosos. Yeah. All right. You know, there's heaps of people back home. The average everyday person will go, "When are you fighting George Kambosos? When are you going to fix him up and knock him out?" And I'm like, "Listen, I'll do the favour for you. All right." So look, hopefully we can get it happening.
All right, Liam Wilson, you got to get through Yusuf Dib on July 10. Thank you so much for your time. Go and mingle, and we'll see you then.
Thank you, man.
All right, we'll bring in big bad Barry Hall now. We've tracked him down.
Hey, Baz.
Baz,
how are we?
Baz, I've got to say, mate, for 46 years old or something, you're looking pretty fit. How do you stay in such good shape?
I'll take 46. I'm actually 47, but look, I've been in the gym quite a bit, so keeps my mental state where it should be. So always been pretty active.
Vulnerability was the word that kind of tossed around up there about, you know, you mentioned your age. Curtis Scott a lot younger than you, and obviously you're coming off the back of the Sonny Bill loss a couple of years ago. Why do you think you're not vulnerable and you are ready to compete and beat him?
I'm a totally different guy to that night, and I've got a really good team around me, and I'm a really big believer in boxing. You need just that straight alignment with everything working for you, and I've certainly got that in the mind, body. I've got the team around me. And I'm just ticking all the boxes now, so it's just chalk and cheese to where I was.
Well, Baz, we're the same age, believe it or not, so I know who I'd rather look like at 47, and it's not me. Look at the rig on him. But Baz, the Sonny Bill loss, I mean, it was pretty humiliating. You really fancied yourself that night, and it was 115 seconds of disaster for you. Yep. How much did that hurt you?
Oh, it hurt me massively, and put so much work into it. And then it's like, from footy terms, you know, you do a full pre-season, you're as fit as you've ever been, and then you do your knee the first 2 minutes and your season's done. It's how it was. I put so much work in. I just let myself down, obviously, but let so many other people down as well. And you sort of got to take a step back sometimes to reflect on what happened and why. And I've certainly done that. And it's always been in the back of my mind, okay, I need to do this again. And, Curtis called me out and stars aligned, and here we are.
Does the age gap mean much in boxing? Obviously, that 21 years.
Not to me, because I'm sparring and actively in the gym with guys like this, young bulls just like him, and I constantly challenge myself. And I don't need to do this. I think people just need to understand. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do it financially. I don't need to do it for any other reason. This is for me. This is a challenge for me. And yes, it's a bit of ego stuff just to show people what I can do. The Sonny Bill fight is something that it just wasn't me that night, and kudos to Sonny, he got his job done. And that's totally fair enough.
What about Baz? Paul Gallen will be watching this fight closely. I mean, you fought him on debut. Was an amazing effort from you, the draw that day. Would you love to fight Paul Gallen again?
Absolutely, yeah. It was a draw, but it wasn't. Well, let's be honest. I think he knows I won that fight. But they're the challenges I want. There's some guys I've got history with. But the first step's first. Curtis Scott, I'm not taking him lightly. I'm not looking to anyone else. I need to take that first step, and then I'll look to take the second. And the guys I've got history with in the past certainly will be on my radar, but Curtis Scott's the number one man at the moment, and I need to knock him over.
I know you said you don't watch much AFL or sport these days, but you want to get a victory for the AFL boys over the NRL ones as well?
We need something, don't we? We need a victory for the AFL crew, and I don't watch sport. I actually watch boxing quite a bit, but yeah, the AFL boys had a fight night not too long back, and hopefully a few more can get involved and we can take these rugby leagues blokes on.
All right, Barry Hall, we'll see you on your July 10. Always good to see you
Thanks, guys.
in the ring. Thanks for joining us. Pete Bedell, thank you so much for your time. July 10 here at the Wollongong Entertainment Centre. If you want to catch all the action, the only place to do it is Main Event. You can order now at mainevent.com.au. We'll see you then.
The winner of this IBF World Title Eliminator, Sam Goodman. It ain't Sam Goodman, it's Mr. Mandatory. Get up!
Sam Goodman, he's world class and he's ready for anything.
I've been mandatory for over a year. Either give up the belts or fight me. Let's get it on.
Goodman on the road to greatness.